Alright, what is up YouTube? Zen Rahman, and I've done plenty of videos talking about health and fitness and nutrition and training and all that good shit. Okay, so I thought I'd do this video about how I started with my fitness journey, what got me onto this lifestyle, onto this track, and whether I was always into fitness and how did I gain all this knowledge. So I'll walk you through a bit of that, the process that it has been for me. And to start with, as a kid in school, I used to play sports throughout school. Okay, so I wasn't like the most inactive or unhealthy kid, but for most of my life, I've been overweight. For most of it, I've been obese. So that was the person that I was. All right, and at times when I felt like my shape was getting way out of control, I would hit a gym sometimes, but never to the extent of making it a lifestyle, maybe for a few months, like most people do, and then I'd be back to getting on with life as I knew it. Okay, so I started with this journey of living a healthy lifestyle in December 2018. Okay, so I knew my diet was all over the place. I had no control over what I was eating. I was hardly doing any physical activity. All right, I wasn't feeling great physically. I wasn't happy with the amount of weight I'd put on and how I'd been looking and how I'd been feeling physically. Yeah, I wasn't feeling good about myself. I knew it was not the right shape to be in, that I should be getting some activity and have some control over my diet. So I wanted to fix all these things, and one day I was just sitting and thinking about the shape that I was in, the amount of body fat that I had. Okay, and just something just snapped inside my head. Okay, like the switch just flipped, and I was done being this person. I was done with this identity of being an overweight, obese person. Okay, I believed I could change it around. I knew I could be fit and healthy and also have an aesthetically good body if I put my mind into it. So, looking back, it wasn't an option for me. Okay, I mean, I just didn't consider that. I was certain that I wanted to make this change. Okay, and I knew I could work around it because I thought of it as just science. Okay, so I was pretty determined. I was committed to my decision. All right, and I was working a night shift. And those of you who have worked in a night shift or are working in a night shift or know what it's about, well, your schedule is pretty much all over the place. So I couldn't find the right time in my schedule to hit a gym, and I wasn't keen on hitting a gym anyway because I have social anxiety, and I didn't want to deal with so many people for whatever reasons. There are other people in a gym. It's not like you're working out by yourself. And I also felt like not going a gym, I could save on both time and money because I wanted to save that time, and since it was saving money as well, I felt like it was a win-win. So I had some weights with me, some dumbbells, some weights, some bars. So, and I had been in gyms before, so I had some kind of an idea about what you could do with weights. So what I did was I downloaded this app which is called Home Workout, and it's a pretty good app. The workouts are very well put together, and they work. It's mostly HIIT style training, that is high intensity interval training, HIIT cardio, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so it is what it is, and I started with that. And I'll do a video later on talking about the pros and cons of HIIT cardio, but now I'll just go into saying that it's not meant for normal people and certainly not for beginners. HIIT cardio is meant for advanced level athletes, elite athletes. Okay, so it's not meant to be done by normal people. And when you're doing HIIT cardio, you're only supposed to do it for 3 days a week maximum, and work out a maximum of 4 days a week, where the other fourth day you do weightlifting, okay, or strength training to complement the cardio style workout tempo that you're working out to the other 3 days when you're doing the HIIT. Okay, so I didn't have an idea about this. Okay, I just wanted to be in better shape, feel better, be healthier. So I basically wanted to train all separate body parts and stimulate my muscles like a bodybuilder, like kind of like a pro split, and I had some idea about what a pro split is like from my previous experiences at gyms. So I put a sort of split together for myself, where I was training shoulders and legs and together, and back and biceps together, chest and triceps together, and 2 days of the week I was doing abs, and I was working out 6 days a week. That's what I started with, and ideally I was supposed to do it only 3 days a week, but I was practically doing it 6 days. Okay, so even though I did manage to make a quick transformation and lose a lot of weight, it did take a toll on my body. Yeah, and I'll talk about that later. So this is what I'd been doing. I put together this split, so I would train my chest, legs, and back and abs with these HIIT workouts on the home workout app. And my biceps, triceps, and shoulders, I would train with the free weights from the idea that I had from my previous times in gyms. Okay, so that's what I was doing for some time, and I was eating a pretty restricted diet because I had some idea about what clean eating is, and what the concept of calories in, calories out, and all this stuff. So what I was eating was 4 or 5 egg whites, okay, for breakfast. Then a little while later, I would have a salad. Okay, then I would have a third meal, which was like my pre-workout meal, and that was the only meal I was having carbs in. So I knew carbs are not your enemy, but I still wanted to restrict my carb intake very much, and I knew I needed it for fuel. So in order to fuel my workouts in a good way, I was having carbs pre-workout. So my pre-workout meal would be some form of carbs and some form of protein, pretty much a normal meal. And then I do my workout, and later on again I would have 4 or 5 egg whites. Sometimes maybe a couple of those eggs I would have whole. So that was my diet for quite a bit of time before I got more curious and wanted to improve my diet and all this stuff. So this is pretty much what I ate for quite some time. And this is one of my posts from Instagram, sort of a before and after. So the first pic is a few months before, like maybe 5, 6 months before I got into my fitness journey, and the other pic is me around 7, 8 months into my fitness journey. So that is the kind of progress that I made, and I wasn't thinking a lot about where I was going to be. Of course, there were days where I felt like I wasn't sure, like most people, whether I'm making any changes, any kind of a transformation, but I would just say fuck it, and that I would judge myself after 6 months or a year, and let's just do something consistently for some time. And I had some kind of confidence that I would see a change if I do it consistently, and my clothes started to get looser, and people would tell me that I would look like half of myself, but that I looked pretty fit, healthy, not like weak. So I mean, the HIIT training was going good, and even though I was sort of burning my body out because I wasn't supposed to work out like that, but I had developed a good level of fitness and endurance. Okay, doing the HIIT, and so I'd been training this way until a point where I have a bit of a niggle in my right shoulder, and then I was doing one of the HIIT back workouts, and I just felt like something didn't feel right, physically, and I felt this kind of pain and stuff, and I knew that it wasn't right. So that was the point where I had trained my body to the point where just gave up. I mean, not in the sense that I couldn't do anything anymore, but then I had to modify the way that I was working out, and naturally the amount of it that I should have been doing, it got down to that. Okay, so I made this video earlier, and it went on for quite a longer time than I would have wanted it to. So I'll leave this video up until here. Okay, we'll call this part 1, and in part 2 I'll talk about how I progressed further after suffering this injury, if you want to call it, and how I kept progressing and what changes I made further on how I improved my diet and tried to make it more optimal. Okay, so I'll talk about some of those things. Okay, for now we'll leave this video at this, call it part 1, and let me know what you thought about it. Leave your comments. Let me know what else you want to see. Like and share the video, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 2, and I'll see you in it.